A new Pokemon and a bunch of dark and water type Pokemon are being featured during this event you don't want to miss. So today we're going to talk all about it and some tips. Let's get into it. So going down Wednesday, March 19th, 10 a.m. to March 24th, 8 p.m. your local time, we will have the Deep Depths event. Event bonuses will be half egg incubator distance and increased chance to encounter and catch shiny Clauncher. Also, once you complete the free timed research, you will unlock the bonus of 2 times catch Stardust, so you're definitely going to want to complete that during the event. Wild spawns during the event will be Murkrow, Sneasel, Corphish, Clamperl, Purloin, Female Frillish, Clauncher, and rare spawns for the new Pokemon Nickit. We'll talk about if this Pokemon is any good in a bit. We'll have event exclusive free research tasks, get you encounters with event themed Pokemon, event exclusive 7 Kilometer eggs, hatching Galarian Corsola, Ponyard, Clauncher, and the new Nickit. By the way, you cannot hatch your old eggs into these eggs. You have to get new fresh ones during the event. Raids during the event, the 5 stars will be Tapu Koko until March 22nd, 10 a.m. and they will all know Nature's Madness when caught, and that will switch into Heatran starting on March 22nd at 10 a.m. Mega Raids will be Mega Swampert until March 22nd at 10 a.m. That will then switch into Mega Pinsir on March 22nd. Max Bottle Bosses during the event will be Machop, Chansey, Scorbunny, and Phalanx. And the free timed research we talked about during the event will get you the rewards of 10 Cupfu candies, 1 mysterious component, and more. And of course, the bonus of 2 times catch Stardust. So make sure you complete that timed research as quick as you can. There also is a $2 timed research you can go ahead and buy. This will get you 2 super incubators, 1 star piece, and encounters with Clauncher and Nickit. Another little purchasable thing if you want to get more of this event. There'll also be 2 free event exclusive collection challenges focused on catching, and the other one focused on evolutions. These will get you the rewards of XP, Stardust, and encounters with event themed Pokemon. Okay, let's get right into the tips, starting off with Nickit and its evolution Thievul, and if they're any good. First of all, you can evolve Nickit into Thievul for 50 Nickit candies. Now, Thievul is a dark type Pokemon with an attack of 172, stamina of 172, and defense of 164, with a max CP level 50 of 2,415. For fast moves, it can learn Quick Attack and Bite, and for charge moves, Night Slash and Play Rough. So only 2 charge moves. Now, as far as raid attacker Thievul, not very good. With the moveset of Bite and Night Slash, it has a DPS of 9.7, which is extremely low, and there's just way better options. For PvP, this thing does have a limited move pool, making it kind of struggle a little bit. So honestly, this Pokemon is more of a dex entry. It doesn't have the greatest stats or the greatest movesets, but with a move up in the future, you never know, so you could get it. It does have a really cool shiny though, so when that shiny does come out, that's definitely one you're going to want to grab. Fun fact, by the way, this Pokemon is based on London foxes who like to steal food from bins. And as a thief, Nickit uses its tail to swipe away its paw prints, making it hard to track this Pokemon. Little fun fact, I don't know if you care, but anyway. Okay, best spawns to catch during the event, starting with Murkrow, which you can evolve into Honchkrow. Honchkrow is actually the number 14 flying type attacker in Pokemon Go with Peck and Sky Attack, number 7 as a Shadow, and is a dark type ranked number 25 with Snarl and Dark Pulse, ranked number 11 as a Shadow. So not a bad raid attacker. You do need 100 candies and a Sinnoh Stone though to evolve it. You also have Sneasel in there, which evolves into Weavile. Weavile is the number 20 dark type attacker in Pokemon Go, number 7 as a Shadow, number 12 ice type attacker in Pokemon Go, number 3 as a Shadow. You can also use Sneasel candies to evolve any Hisuian Sneasels into Sneasler if you have those. Really good dual attacker, that one. Corphish is in there, which evolves into Crawdont. Crawdont is actually an alright water type attacker, and as a Shadow, it's actually ranked number 13 with Waterfall and Crab Hammer. Frillish is in there, which evolves into Jellicent. Jellicent in the Open Great League is ranked number 17 with Hex, Surf, and Shadow Ball. In the upcoming Scroll Cup will be ranked number 7 and could be decent in the Catch Cup. In the Open Ultra League, this Pokemon is also ranked number 9, so overall a very good PvP Pokemon if you don't have one. Moving on to the eggs, what are the best ones to go after? And we do have Galarian Corsola in the 7 Kilometer eggs in a much smaller egg pool. Now, if you don't know, Galarian Corsola ranked number 6 in the Great League, a very strong Pokemon. If you want to get the best IVs on Galarian Corsola, you do need to trade it with a friend to try to reroll for PvP IVs, but overall a very strong Pokemon. You can also have Galarian Corsola into Cursula, its evolution, which could potentially be a good ghost type attacker in the future. Also remember, Galarian Corsola does count as a Corsola dex entry, so if you don't have Corsola in your Pokedex, you can get one there. You also have Ponyard in the eggs, which evolves into Bisharp, and the reason you want to hatch this is because it has another evolution, King Gambit. King Gambit might come to Pokemon Go in a future Ponyard Community Day or some sort of event, and King Gambit could be the number 18 dark type attacker. Overall, a very strong steel and dark type attacker in Pokemon Go. Ponyard is also a pretty cool rare shiny Pokemon, only usually available for 12 Kilometer eggs, so it's cool that they're available from the 7Ks, which are much easier to get than 12Ks. Moving on to the best raids, we have Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko can learn Fairy Wind in the main series game, so if it does get that, it will become a much stronger Fairy type attacker in Pokemon Go. That will then switch into Heatran with Magma Storm, a legacy move that you will have to Elite Charge TM onto. It is ranked number 16 as a Fire type attacker and number 3 in the Shadow variant. It's also ranked number 44 in the Open Master League, 31 as a Shadow variant. So a good opportunity to grind candy candies for regular Heatran or Shadow Heatran, which does have meta play. We have Mega Swampert in there, which Mega Swampert with Hydro Cannon is a solid raid attacker, number 2 as a water type raid attacker, and number 10 as a ground type attacker. Obviously, Primal Kyogre better, but still. And that will then switch into Mega Pinsir, which is the number 2 bug type attacker currently in Pokemon Go. Regular Pinsir is actually still ranked number 16, and Shadow Pinsir ranked 8. So good opportunity to just grind candies for that Pokemon, a good attacker overall. Now, Bug not the most useful counter or type for raids, but if Hoopa Unbound does return, it will be good there. Moving on to the best max battle Pokemon to take on, we have Dynamax Machop, which can evolve into Dynamax Machamp. Now, Gigantamax Machamp will be better, but Dynamax Machamp still a very, very strong Pokemon, especially useful for Gigantamaxes like Meowth, Snorlax, Eevee, or Single Strike Urshifu if those come in the future. Also, if Gmax Lapras does return, it will be useful then. And regular Machamp is a decent fighting type attacker, ranked number 21 regular and ranked number 8 in the Shadow variant. Dynamax Chansey is also in the Dynamax battles. This Pokemon could evolve into Dynamax Blissey, which is one of the highest HP Pokemon in the game, making a very, very good tank Pokemon for the Dynamax battles. If you don't know what a tank is, it's just a Pokemon you put out to take hits, and Chansey is very, very good at that. Also, Blissey and Chansey are fantastic gym defenders in Pokemon Go, so a little bit of a double use there. Now, for all these Pokemon we mentioned, you do want to grind candies for them because you need candies to power them up. So what are the best ways to grind candies? First of all, Pineapple Berries. Regular Pineapple Berries will catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. This can be very, very useful, especially on the new Nickit Pokemon, because it is a new Pokemon. You're going to have 0 candies for it, so you can start prepping your candies. You can also Mega Evolve a Pokemon. When you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch shares a type with the Mega, you get more candy, XP, and XL candy for catching Pokemon of that type. The best Mega to Mega Evolve, I would say, is probably Mega Gyarados during the event, hitting both the Water and Dark type, and pretty much all the spawns during the event are Water or Dark type Pokemon, except for a couple, I guess you could say. Now, every time you trade away a Pokemon, you do get a guaranteed XL candy, so trading away is a really, really good way to grind candies as well during the event. Catch some Murkrows, trade away 100 Murkrows, that's 100 Murkrow XL candies. It doesn't matter what you're trading for, as long as you're just trading them away. Also, a good opportunity to re-roll IVs. When you trade away a Pokemon, IVs re-roll, and you could end up with a hundo of a Pokemon you might want. Also, every time you catch a legendary Pokemon during a raid hour during this season, you're going to get 1 guaranteed rare XL candy, the hardest item in the game to collect. So make sure you play your raid hours. Now, this event is really focused on eggs, so let's run through some egg hatching tips. Number 1, the bonus does have a half egg incubator distance, so 7 kilometer eggs are technically 3.5 kilometer eggs, but you can make these even quicker by using super egg incubators. This will hatch your eggs 33.3% faster. So if you have those, use those. But there's another way to reduce your egg distance even more. Checking in at a community ambassador meetup on Campfire. If you go to the meetups, look for the community ambassador ones. When you check into those meetups, you can go ahead and claim while you are in parties 25% less egg incubator distance. And this bonus will last from 8 hours from the time you checked in. So your 7 kilometer eggs will technically only take 2.6 kilometers to hatch. This is amazing. If you use a super egg incubator, that's actually gonna be 1.8 kilometers to hatch 1 7 kilometer egg. So amazing. Make sure you look for those community ambassador meetups and check into those. There is 3 events which there could be these meetups: Tapu Koko Raid Hour, Totodile Community Day, and Mega Absol Raid Day during this event. So try to check in to the meetups for those events and any other ones you might find. Also, the Community Classic for Totodile on March 22nd from 2 to 5 p.m. does have quarter egg incubator distance, so another good time to hatch your 7 kilometer eggs for some cool hatches. Also, egg incubators, to get them, try and win your showcases. If you win a showcase or come within the top 3, you can earn some premium items like an egg incubator or a super egg incubator. Showcases, by the way, run from Monday to Wednesday and Saturday to Sunday, so try to win those to get those items and hatch eggs. Remember that you can only open 30 gifts per day, so there's gonna be a limit on how many 7 kilometer eggs from this event you can go ahead and hatch. So try to hatch as many as you can every single day, because you are limited to how many you can collect. Remember, 7 kilometer eggs are collected from opening gifts. Make sure you have an egg slot open when you do open your gift. Also, make sure you have Adventure Sync on in your settings, as this will track distance for hatching eggs when the game is technically not open. Let's talk about Platinum Medal tips. You need 35 Platinum Medals to go from level 48 to 49 Pokemon Go. Which one should we work on? Obviously, the Dark type medal, very focused, and the Swimmer medal, a lot of Dark and Water type spawns during the event. Work on those. On the topic of eggs, the Breeder medal, another good one to work on if you're going to be hatching those 7 kilometer eggs. And if you do end up hatching those 7 kilometer eggs, a medal that you can work on is the Pilot medal. Cover 10 million kilometers across all Pokemon trades. This means when you trade Pokemon, the distance between where those 2 Pokemon were caught, if it's a far, far distance, it's going to add a lot of kilometers. Since 7 kilometer eggs are collected from your gifts, if a friend sends me a gift in Paris and I'm in Ottawa, and I go ahead and trade a Paris caught Pokemon or hatched Pokemon for an Ottawa one, that's going to add a lot of kilometers towards this medal. So save those 7 kilometer egg hatches for that. We do have 2 new Pokemon added to the Galar medal. Not a medal you will be able to complete, but if you get Thievul and whatever the other one is, Nickit, in your decks, that will add you 2 more towards this. If you plan on doing a lot of raids, of course, the Battle Legend Medal will be one you can go ahead and work on. And also the Rising Star Medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. Any Pokemon that you see in raids that you've never done a raid for before, make sure you do it. Now remember to download all assets when you are playing Pokemon Go. This will download all the game assets to your phone, so you're not pulling them off the internet for a much smoother gameplay experience. Also, you can activate Palkia's Spatial Rend Adventure Effect. This will double your spawn distance, allowing you to see more spawns you catch, more chances of shinies, hundos, all that stuff. If you don't have a Palkia with Spatial Rend, see if you have a friend in the local area that can trade you one. If you don't want to use Palkia's Spatial Rend Adventure Effect, you can use the Ice Burn and Freeze Shock Adventure Effect. These are going to make it easier to catch Pokemon, and also it's going to go ahead and either freeze or slow down the catch circle or make the Pokemon jump less, depending on which adventure effect you use. Highly recommended to use this on the Tapu Koko raid hour on March 19th from 6 to 7 p.m. It's going to make catching Tapu Kokos way easier for a much better raid hour experience. Max Monday on March 24th is for Dynamax Caterpie. By the way, this is a new Dynamax Pokemon and our first Dynamax bug type Pokemon. It's not going to be the best Dynamax attacker, but if you want to go ahead and collect some candies for the future Gigantamax Butterfree, good opportunity to do that. We also have the new setting to set nearby Pokemon notifications, but you can only use this on one Pokemon. So if you want to hunt Nickit during this event, the new Pokemon, highly recommend you go into your Galar Pokedex and go to Nickit and turn on the notifications so that when a Nickit spawns nearby, it will notify you and you can go ahead and hunt it. There's a lot of dark types spawning during the event, so if you want to evolve a Pancham into a Pangoro, you need to make it your buddy and catch 32 dark type Pokemon. Pangoro is actually ranked number 23 in the Great League, 25 in the Willpower Cup, and 23 in the upcoming Scroll Cup, and 42 in the Open Ultra League, so very good opportunity to make those evolutions. Also, if you do plan on hatching a lot of eggs, you're going to be walking a lot of kilometers. Woobat into Swoobat, you need to walk 1 kilometer with it as your buddy. Hisuian Sneasler into Sneasler, you need to walk 7 kilometers with it as your buddy. Eevee into Espeon, you need to walk 10 kilometers. Eevee into Umbreon, you need to walk 10 kilometers. Feebas into Milotic, you need to walk 20 kilometers. And Pawmo into Pawmwat, 25 kilometers. So make those Pokemon your buddies if you're going to be walking a lot. Remember to also always pin your gifts that your friends send you when you are going through to open your gifts for the 7-kilometer eggs. Pin your gifts because you can get scatter bug encounters, which can be shiny, and that's a very rare Pokemon. Finally, if you're working on your shiny Meloetta, a dazzling area special research on page 1, you need to catch Pokemon from generation 1, 2, 3, and 5. For the Johto region, Murkrow and Sneasel are spawning. For the Hoenn region, Corphish and Clamperl are spawning, and the Unova region, Purloin and Frillish are spawning. So if you haven't completed those tasks, those are the Pokemon you can hunt to complete those generations. Watch the other 2 videos on screen if you enjoyed this one, guys. Good luck during the Deep Depths event. Let me know if you're going to be playing it or not, and follow for tips. Peace.